So I want to talk about let's talk about overall employee engagement. So employee engagement, kind of a buzzword. Why don't you give me your overall view of the whole concept of employee engagement? A lot of people, like my father, would say, well, recognition and engagement was your paycheck. So I don't even understand the going the extra mile to talk about engagement and making people feel valued and whatever, because the value that I got in the 60s was my paycheck. And that was happy for, well, it's a whole different time now where the workforce that we're having now, the war for talent, you have to do a little bit more than that. So why don't you, we'll start off with Dr. Jack. Why don't you give us your overall opinion about employee recognition / engagement and how that fits into workforce management today?
Okay. Well, if we're going to talk about employee engagement, we first of all have to define our terms. Employee engagement is really about a committed workforce that's highly motivated to perform the work, eager to be part of the organization, and very committed to staying with the organization. Those are the employees who are willing to apply discretionary effort, the ones who are willing really to go the extra mile. So the engaged worker is really your dream employee.
Mm-hmm.
But whether we look at this from the standpoint of definition or what are the drivers of engagement, we really need to understand what causes employees to be more engaged. And when we consider all of the research, both academic and practitioner research, it turns out that there are really four things that drive employee engagement. First of all, leaders have to be inspiring and building of confidence. So if I have trust and confidence in my leadership, that's one of the contributors to an engaged workforce.
Okay.
But also we need managers who really understand how to recognize employees and their contributions. Without that, you're not going to achieve full engagement. The third piece is that people have to be put into the right job. We're talking about person-job match so that they get a sense of excitement from the actual work itself. They're buzzed, they're turned on by what it is they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, there has to be opportunities for career growth and development. People have an innate desire to get better at what they do, and so they're looking for opportunities to further develop their skills and to grow their career. So the engaged workforce is a workforce that's led with inspiration and confidence, that's recognized by managers who are doing the kind of job they should be doing, by making sure people are placed into the right jobs and that they have an opportunity to grow and develop, not only in the here and now, but for the longer term flow of their career.
So when we talk about, let's just say, hierarchy of needs and what's important with an employee, okay? And so, of course, you have to have compensation, you have to have some of those basic needs taken care of. Dr. Charles, what do you think, and then once those needs are taken care of, how does a manager get their employees to the state, and that was a great definition, by the way, of engagement. How do we then get off the bottom rung there and inspire them to contribute more and to kind of be more self-sufficient when it comes to being engaged when we're relating with peers, customers, whatever?
Sure. And I'll let Jack talk about it. I think he's done quite a bit of work on the respect framework, which really does talk.
Really, this is what we call grounded research in academic terms. We just started with an open-ended question, collected the data, and allowed the data to speak for themselves to really reflect the employee voice, really reflect what employees were looking for in terms of that experience. So sometimes we get the question, well, how does the respect taxonomy relate to employee engagement? Well, again, if we think about what the drivers of employee engagement are, leaders who inspire confidence and trust, managers who recognize and bring out the best in their employees,